Hi, it's me again. Sorry, I didn't know will only basically record for like an hour, so I'm back. And it's so weird because now it's my 30th video, and yeah, so 'cause I was like, oh, that'd be interesting which is my twos. It'll, because this is part two. So I ended, um, yeah, well, actually, I want to get into the number 30 before I pick up where I left off. So video 30, the number 30 represents spiritual maturity, dedication, and beginning a divine calling in ministry, which I just feel like something's working at me. It was the price of betrayal. Judas betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, which is in Matthew 26:15. And it's a time of transition. The Israelites mourned the death of Moses and Aaron. I think Aaron was Moses' son, for 30 days. And it represents the point of readiness to step into a God-ordained purpose. So, yeah. And it's also the Hebrew letter Lamed. I think it's Lamed. It resembles a shepherd's staff in authority. This is so and it also is heaven's purposes begin to manifest on earth. Hey, I like the sounds of that. So that's what I'll say about the number 30. So we'll get back to what I was talking about in my 29th video. So I ended with me saying I'm not comfortable with even needing to lie to save face or whatever. So I was really treated horribly. My second week of employment there, I actually busted out crying because I had never felt so disrespected in my entire life. But I was like, oh my gosh, Paulette, I'm so lucky to have this job, so I have a paycheck. So yeah. So, oh, four. So I was there 4 years. And, yeah, I don't know how many times I kept on applying to it because I kept on having ads out there. And so I kept on applying for it. And, finally I got in. And, that's not what you do. If it's meant for you, it comes so easily. Yeah, it's meant to come easily if it's meant for you, and you need to stick it out until what's meant for you comes. God's got me. As you can see, God, this whole process here, if you've been following me from the start, you will be seeing what's going on if you're paying attention. I'm paying attention. I'm putting it out there. So put these little puzzle pieces together. Put the puzzle pieces together for your life if you're needing direction. Yeah, we just hit four minutes just there. Put those puzzle pieces together. But yeah. So I wanted to get back to I said I chickened out, and I did. I did chicken out. I should have stuck it out, and I'll never know. I'll never know now. What would have happened? Because that's in the past. It's in the past, and I just like I don't know my future. I can't say what would have happened in the past if I made a different choice, because I don't know. Because I didn't do it, and so therefore I don't know. So that's why I think God erased my ideas of getting out And so he closed all the doors of employment for me, so no one would accept me. And my daughter thinks I gave up, and I didn't give up. But I'm not gonna knock on doors that are not letting me in. And it's to the point now, since it's been since 2022, that they're like, oh, why have you been without employment for so long? I mean, it's like I told my second husband, I said, I'd rather be living out on the streets than having a job that I don't enjoy. That's not for me. And so if a job that I applied for wasn't for me, God shut those doors. And oh my gosh, he hardened my heart against it. He hardened my heart against seeking employment. Because he has another plan for me. I don't know what it is. It doesn't make sense to me. Why would he want me to... Because, like I said, he hasn't put it on my heart to be out on the streets or in a shelter. That, like my one daughter said, well, they can help you find a job and find a... I'm like, but I don't see, and it's not like I'm in a depression, but it's similar to a depression, but not a depression, because a depression is like where you're deeply sad. Because oh boy, I've been there. I have been in deep depression, trying to get out of my last marriage. That was, oh my gosh, that was super, super hard, because he purposely, and I allowed it, he purposely kept me limited. He took away my cell service, he took away the internet, so I couldn't communicate with anybody. Oh, it's 2 for 2. That's funny. That's part of my childhood. But, yeah, 2:42 p.m. But, so yeah, so I was in a deep depression. And then, I don't want this one to be super long as well. So I will keep some things for, I don't know, maybe later. But yeah, but plug me in while you're folding your laundry or something, and you can just listen to me. You don't need to watch me. It's not like I'm posting things up saying, look at this. But, yeah, so God erased my ideas from my head. The only thought that I had was to go through all the money that I had. That was my way of saving. And saving myself from the situation was just going through that money. Because all money comes from God. You know, you can't take it with you. You know, and that's what I said to my daughter when I took the last money out. I said, well, hopefully I die sooner rather than later. And I said, I can't take it with me. And she just kind of looked at me. I mean, they don't like what comes out of my mouth. But I also trained them to say to me what comes, because that's how you know how someone feels. Because if you don't speak it and you keep it inside, either it festers inside you and it causes you illnesses, or you release it and let it go. You know, I'd rather have you release it. So yeah. And then, so I was listening to this video, and it was the near-death experience thing, and she was talking about how God doesn't do things halfway, because she was actually struggling from an illness, and that's how she had an illness, and she had a surgery, a botched surgery, and then that ended up killing her. But she came back. And so then she was worried. She had like two things. And then she asked the angels, well, what if this, I think one was a cancer. I don't remember, to be honest with you. I just take what really resonates with me. And God doesn't do things halfway. So God created this whole scenario for me. And I'm not victim blaming because I'm not. I guess if you want to say there's someone I'm blaming, I don't know. Maybe Satan. Satan attacking me because God wants to do something with me. I don't know. I honestly don't know that. I can't answer that question. But God doesn't do things halfway. And so I find comfort in that. And that's, and then let's see here. So she said something to her friend about, well, what happens if, this comes back? And the person said to her, that's what, like, because he was referring to medical. That's what the medical people think, that this could come back. Like if you're cured from cancer or whatever, this can come back. It's a possibility this can come back. And so he said that's what, I guess I'm going to say earthly, the people of the earth, the people that live in this world and they're of it, okay? Meaning, because that's what Jesus says. I'm in this world, but not of it. And you can take that many ways. Like he's from heaven. He's a heavenly being. And we can say that we are a God-believing being. And so we don't think that way. So he says that's what medical people believe, but that's not how God works. No, he don't work that way. So, and then she also mentioned a spiritual healing. That it was a soul healing. She wasn't in her body anymore. So her spirit left her body and her spirit was healed, and then she went into her body. And so it was a soul healing. And then she mentioned about like the polio vaccine. About back in the night, my one brother, I think it was my oldest brother, he had polio, and I'm the youngest out of 8. So this is just stories that I heard. He's alive. He went to Vietnam, but so I guess 1950 is when the vaccine was. They discovered the vaccine. I don't know how my brother got healed from polio. But I heard stories where my mom thought he was going to die. And I really don't know what polio is, to be honest with you. But she made a comment about how the rate declined of the amount of people that were getting polio after they announced that they have a vaccine for it. Not that these people got vaccines, but the rate declined once it was announced. And that just shows you what fear does to a body. That's of the devil. That's of Satan. Fear is Satan. That's why I'm not fearing what's ahead for me. I really do have peace. But then she also mentioned a book that she read back in the 80s, I guess, by Bernie Siegel, Siegel. It's called Love, Medicine, and Miracles. And he was a medical doctor that I guess he would tell people that, hey, you need to go, you're going to be dying in 6 months. Let's say 6 months. You're going to be dying in 6 months. Get your affairs in order. And yeah, sorry, but this is the news. There's no cure for you. And then I guess he would be out and about doing his, things that he does in his personal life. And he would run into these people. And I don't know how long much, but apparently after they were supposed to be dead. And he asked them, I'm curious what happened. What, basically, why are you still alive? And they said to them that they decided to live. If they only had so long to live, they were going to live a happy life. And I feel when when that was said, that reminded me of it must have been in my 26th video, because the number 20, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So yeah, the number 26 was popping up. And I saw a video, someone did 26. I'm like, oh, I'm numbering my videos. Yeah, let's see what her number 26 was. But she was talking about the number 26 and how that's been popping up for her. And yeah, because she was going out, and she said God talks to her through numbers, and so she was going through that. I'm like, oh, what was my 26th video about? So I went back to it, and in there I did, and this was days ago. This is, oh, here we go, probably 3 days ago. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm thinking it was. And I'm not going to research it while you're here, because I don't want this one to be long. But yeah, so in my video, I had commented how I decided to get the Christmas gifts this year for my kids, because the year before I didn't, thinking I was going to be saving some money for something, not that anybody was, my money's going to go away eventually. And I guess I thought something was going to happen. I was going to get money, receive money, get a job, do something. I honestly never thought, because I love helping others. I do find that of great service. So it's kind of hurtful to think that I can't do that, but I understand why I can't. Because I honestly think I need to be doing what I'm going to do, either with like-minded people, or by myself. I don't know, because I don't know what it's going to be. But, yeah, so I mentioned that, because I told my one daughter that I was going to get them presents, so they weren't, thinking if they wanted to get me something, they could. But I didn't want them to feel like, oh, shoot, I wish I would have known, and then I would have got something. But I said it's just going to be little stuff. It was nothing fancy. Like I had mentioned, I got my youngest, who's in college, food. Snack stuff. It was just... And then I got my other daughter stuff that I recommended for her that I knew she wouldn't take the initiative to buy herself. I did that for her. And now she buys that stuff herself because she actually likes it. Yeah. I took the initiative for her. It was something small, but she didn't want to do it because she's like, ain't gonna work. And so I did it for her. And it was a gift. So yeah, so I didn't want it to steal my happiness, my situation to steal my happiness. So I had wanted to, trying to think what it was. So I found this to be interesting. I was listening to this gentleman called Troy Black on YouTube, and I don't see him a lot. I forget what his video was titled. Maybe on this. No, I can't see on the screenshot. But I could probably go to my history. I think he was talking about current, like the current times or something that we're in. Um, oh, uh, it said God showed me this starting in June. And he said it was through June through April, but he didn't know. He didn't know if it was like April 2027. But and so I found that to be interesting that um, starting in starting in June. So I thought, oh, this would be interesting because June something's starting for me. June 1. um, won't be living here. And so I was like, oh, I want to listen to this video. So in the video, he talks about how I forget what Bible verse this is. Oh, I think it was Paul. He was talking about Paul. And remember in my past videos, I mentioned the Apostle Paul stuck out to me because my daughter had mentioned that, the nickname for Paulette is Paul. And I've always been against that because it's a male name. But I was like, so I was open to it, to research it. Plus I was listening to the Bible, I think a little. I don't even know. Oh, well, I can't say I was listening, but I was watching The Chosen, and it's not even though they've gotten to that point yet, because they're to the point of the crucifixion, which is what they're going to be talking about in my prior video. I mentioned is crucifixion, the end, and it's not. It's a transition. It's starting something new. But so he was talking about Apostle Paul and him talking about, I have been crucified with Christ, meaning he's been emerged. Christ is in him. So it is no longer I who live. So he's no longer him. He's more Christ. But Christ lives in me, and the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, which I found this to be so interesting because I'm now living in the faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself up for me. So I thought that to be very interesting. And and then later on, he brings up, let's see here. Let me pause you so I can get my thoughts together because I don't want this to be long. Hold on. All right. So, oops. So he says, hold on, let me get back there. It's better that you believe at the moment. So this is Jesus talking to, I I think it was Jesus. I forget who Jesus was talking to. I don't know if this was still Paul or not. Or this is just something else he's reading from the Bible. But just take the words. It's better. It might be God speaking or Jesus speaking, but they're all one and the same. Jesus was God in the flesh. That's all. So it's better that you believe at the moment. My plan is better. My plan for you is good. Don't restrict yourself when I've not restricted your access. Come in by faith. So then this Troy Black was talking about how the book is not just for unbelievers. It's also for believers, because I'm a believer, and I find oh, I didn't know this is what he said. The power of God. And it's the power of God every single day. Yeah. It's us saying, I'm going to live by faith today, no matter what. Why? Because he loved me and he gave himself up for me. Yeah. And then, oh, is this a double? 30. Yeah, it looks to be like a repeat. 35:10. Yeah, he says, I'm going to live by faith today, no matter what. Why? Because he loved me and he gave himself up for me, and he already did that. The work is already finished. And so today I'm at peace. Today I'm at rest. Okay? And remember in my past videos when I asked God, what do I need to do? And before I could finish my statement, and a lot of people have said that before they couldn't even finish what they were saying, they were getting their response, he would tell me, relax. And now I thought that was stupid. So today, and then it says, today I have everything I need ultimately because of Christ. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm in the house. Do I need anything today? No, I don't need anything today. It's taken care of. So, yeah. Healing is in your soul. And, live your life happy. Don't live in misery. Like they say, live every day like it's your last. And not that I could go on excursions. I wish I could. I so want to go places. But I guess that's not meant for me, at least not right now. And then, so they, in one of these near-death experience videos, it talked about don't isolate yourself in isolation, because it does talk about, in the Bible, don't forsake the gathering. And I'm like, I don't have anyone. Since 2020, since 2020 was the pandemic, and my job got shifted to home. And so then I was working from the home, and I did have I hate to call them friends because, well, yeah, I'm going to call them friends because I can't say they're not friends. Just because they left doesn't mean they weren't a friend, but they weren't meant to stay. They weren't meant to stay. It's like, I feel like God did what I couldn't do. God got rid of people I couldn't get rid of. Because I like seeing the good in everyone. I guess I'm like Jesus. I never thought of it that way. I see the good in everyone. But unfortunately, I don't have the same powers that I know of anyway. Maybe I do have powers because, Jesus did say that we would do things greater than him. And I'm like, yeah, where's my superpowers? Yeah, maybe they're yet to be discovered. I don't know. But everybody's supposed to have them. Don't think it's just me. Um, everybody on this earth is to have those same gifts and do them better than Jesus. And I would like to multiply my little money I have. And, because I said I never want to worry about money ever again. I put that out there. I never want, it's not about how much, but I don't want to ever have to worry about money again. And what I find relief in, I don't have to worry about my children. I've worried about them. I'm going to be 61 in June. I'm going to be, my birthday's coming up rather quickly. And if you've been paying attention, I've mentioned my birthday. So if you care about me, you'll remember the day. But, it deals with Apostle Paul. And, so, I feel so relieved. I felt like I did what I was supposed to do for them. They're plenty old enough. I mean, my oldest, she's 30. And then my second oldest is 29. But has dealt with many things. That's why, like I said, she had my grandson when she was 18. Plus, she had other issues that I don't want to get into because that's her story. But, so I was there for her. I was daycare, being there to watch my grandson while she worked. And, they didn't pay rent. I did it all. And like I said, I wouldn't do it any differently because I wanted them to be able to advance because the world is so much different. And so and then I wanted to mention this because I don't think I did in the previous, about the hardening of the heart. And so I was explaining to my friend that I really think everything is happening the way it's supposed to, that my daughters aren't meant to help me out. Not that I expect it at all. Zero expectation. But others think that, well, why wouldn't your own children help you out? And I'm not expecting them to help me out. This is just between me and God. And if it's not on their heart, because this is a heart thing now, okay? Because like I told my friend that I worked with at my last job, that she always read the Bible. And her husband was a minister. And, she said she made her daughter. And I'm like, that's why you can't compare your life to someone else's life. Your story is not their story. And so you need to take what bits and pieces out of someone else's story that can help you in your story. And so I wanted to be there, and then, like I mentioned, I think in the now 2 videos ago, because now this is the part 2. I didn't mean it to be, but it was in my 28th video where um, I wanted them to advance and do things on their own, and I wouldn't do it any other way. This is what I was meant to do, and I'm very happy I did that. But during this, and because of all the trauma that I've been through, I loved my solitude. That was my healing time. That was my journey to getting to where I'm at. So I believe God took all that away. Just like Job. I really feel I'm having a Job moment. Everything has been taken away. Oh, I'm getting body tingles. Having a Job moment. And like my planting seeds with my oldest daughter. I said, this is going to get a little biblical. But I said, not to say that your hearts are hardened, but, and I told her everything's happening the way it should. But Job had said, I guess I don't, and I need to dig deeper, but Satan actually went to God and said, hey, because Job just loved God. And Satan's like, oh, not if I can get a hold of him. And so God's like, okay, yeah, fine. He's mine. He's mine. And Satan was trying to, so he allowed Satan, because like I said, God has to allow what happens, and we need to understand that. God allows everything to happen for certain reasons, and it's for you to figure out what the meaning is behind the reason why things happened. And like I had told my one employer, like, yeah, sad situation where my daughter took off, and yeah, it was very tragic, and it devastated me. But I think after a few days, it was a few days. It took me, because it really brought me down, because I couldn't understand how she could leave her son. And yeah, but she was really going through it. But that's her story. But my part of the story is that I told my employer that I firmly believe everything happens for a reason. I don't know what the reason is yet, but I will soon find out, or maybe not soon find out, but I will find out what the reason is. And it's all for a reason. And it may not be for me. It might be a teaching lesson for her, and I believe it was definitely for her, because that was kind of right before the pandemic happened. And during the pandemic, she called me and said that she heard Jesus talk to her. And me necessarily not believing in that at that point, because that was like back in 2020. But I believed in Jesus. I mean, it's hard to believe in something when you haven't experienced something yourself. That's just how it is. Us crazy, because Satan's got a hold of this whole world, and so he's tainted our minds. Yeah, he tries to get people for him. But so that created the isolation. And so then I'm thinking, well, if I'm supposed to be in a gathering, where's my gathering? because I don't know where it's at this point. So, but we're 40 minutes in, and I don't want this to be extra long, but I think I said everything I wanted to say. I'm not gonna, maybe I should re-listen to my first video, so I can't re-listen to this, but I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it as is, and I hope someone gets something from this. I don't have a final ending yet. This is currently where I'm at. And oh my gosh, not realizing today is May 23rd. Which the 23rd, I don't know if it's the relevance in May 23rd from September 23rd, 2022, but I just want to throw that out there. I just realized the 23rd of September 2022 was the last day that I worked, and when all of this basically started, because probably 2 months before, oh my gosh, 2 months before I was let go, or us American working employees doing what I was doing for that company, and the people from the Philippines got the job and got to stay on because they were cheaper. But that's all good, because like I said, I hated it, and so God worked and got me out of it. But like I told my friend, I said I didn't mean to take everybody else with me, but because they were devastated, and I felt an instant release off my body when I got that phone call saying, sorry, today's your last day. Isn't that nice? They want a 2-week notice, but then they call you up basically towards the end of your shift for the day because they want to get their money's worth out of you. It's funny how Satan works, but yeah, it's all good. I'm good. Don't know where I'm going, but it's all good. And I guess I'm supposed to rely on other people's hearts. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. It's whatever. But I love you all. And I hope you got to listen to it all. But you have a great day, a great weekend if you're listening to it this weekend. And hopefully lots of people come and listen to my story up until now. It's just kind of fascinating to think this is where God took me. So I'll end it. I feel connected to you. I don't want to leave you. This is my gathering. But yeah. Love you.